Can't Stop, Addicted to the Shindig. Chop Top, he says, I'm going to win big. Choose Not a Life of Imitation. Distant Cousin, To the Reservation. This is the pilot speaking. We are 1 minute out from our destination. We will soon be beginning our descent. This is the pilot speaking. If you start playing Roundabout by Yes at 23:59:16 on New Year's Eve, the introduction will end at exactly midnight. This is the pilot speaking. The plane is not going fast enough. This is the pilot speaking. You know, it's probably fine. It's probably fine. Don't worry about it. This is the pilot speaking. If anyone can remember where we were meant to be headed, please let me know. This is the pilot speaking. If you look out of your windows now, there is a non-zero chance you will see clouds. This is the pilot speaking. If you think you can fly the plane better than me, then you should have brought your own. This is the pilot speaking. We will not be landing the aircraft until you have solved all 3 of the fiendishly clever riddles I have hidden throughout the aircraft. stop, addicted to the shindig. Chop Top, he says, I'm going to win big. Choose not a life of imitation. Distant cousin, to the reservation. This is the pilot speaking. We are 1 minute out from our destination. We will soon be beginning our descent. This is the pilot speaking. If you start playing Roundabout by Yes at 23:59:16 on New Year's Eve, the introduction will end at exactly midnight. This is the pilot speaking. The plane is not going fast enough. This is the pilot speaking. You know, it's probably fine. It's probably fine. Don't worry about it. This is the pilot speaking. If anyone can remember where we were meant to be headed, please let me know. This is the pilot speaking. If you look out of your windows now, there is a non-zero chance you will see clouds. This is the pilot speaking. If you think you can fly the plane better than me, then you should have brought your own. This is the pilot speaking. We will not be landing the aircraft until you have solved all 3 of the fiendishly clever riddles I have hidden throughout the aircraft. Hello. Hello, 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 hello. I presume everything sounds fine. If not, well, that's gonna cause issues, but this is a blast from the past, isn't it? The old flight simulator? Didn't think you'd see this one again, did you? Well, maybe you were never aware that I played it in the first place. That's a distinct possibility. I think my following has tripled since the last time I played Flight Simulator. But here I am regardless. Celebrating 2 years of this whole malarkey. By flying from... ooh, it's the moon. Look at that. Lovely. Flying from Bhutan to China, which was the flight I did when I debuted my first model 2 years ago, yesterday. Oh, hello. Camera's going on. Right, so the first thing... by the way, tell me if the audio and video is like, decent. Is that maybe a little loud? Maybe we'll turn that down. Just a touch. Alright, I think that'll do. Operative word being think. I have been wrong before. But anyway. Let's not delay, huh? First of all, let's see if I remember how to do any of this. Genuinely, there's a non-zero chance that I don't. I think they've increased the speed this dial increases. That's good. So we're going to set that to 30,000 feet, which is our heading for the evening. Autopilot we're going to leave off for the time being, because I want to take this out manually because there's a giant mountain in the way of this airport, but that's fine. Vertical speed on, and what did I do? Was it 1200? Let's do it. Let's play it. Easy, let's go 1200. Now, sounds odd to say, but I'm genuinely nervous about this. I barely remember how to get this thing in the air. But that's fine. What have I... okay, we've set the altitude, we've set vertical speed, we've set nav mode. The only thing we haven't set yet is autopilot, but that will get done in time. Okay. I want to take her out manually. But let's turn off the parking brake and even Kunming. What? Can you change that? Control number decimal. Can I accelerate now? Oh wow, why are you beeping at me? They've changed the control for this. Why have you done that, Microsoft? Oh well, I'll have to look it up. Controller. Landing gear. Landing gear. Hang on. Yeah, they have like completely changed the control since the last time I played this, I swear. What an odd thing to do. It was such... What do you mean there's no parking brake? Oh, good lord. Okay, I think I want default. I want default, right? That's probably not what I want. Alright. Apply and save. Let's see how hard I've screwed this up. Right. Oh, hello, and we're off. Alright. I should have done rehearsals before this, but that's fine. It's only flying a plane. It's famously quite straightforward. And lift off. We are up in the air. Alright. Okay. Goodbye, Bhutan. We barely knew you.
Going to 123.9er Cessna Sierra Whiskey Tango. Guwahati Center Cessna Foxtrot Sierra Whiskey Tango is passing 8,600 feet, climbing flight level 190.
Cessna Foxtrot Sierra Whiskey Tango Guwahati Center QNH 30 Decibel 08 radar contact. Continue to Jurek.
Oh wow, I am at an angle. Alright. We're going to turn this plane. Roughly. I don't think I'm about to crash into anything. I've made that mistake before, however. I'm going to turn her in this direction. I wonder how many private jets Bhutan gets. I do not know. Why would I know that? That's a weirdly esoteric statistic to have in your head. I've set the time of day. This isn't live weather because, well, it's not live time, I should say, because I wanted to, didn't want to do the whole thing in the dark. I did want a nice sunset, so here we are. And now we're going to turn autopilot on. Oh, hello. Okay. Good. And now I think we're in business. Alright, I do remember how to play this game. More or less. Right, all that's left to do is kind of glide gently. He blindly hooked. Glide gently into Kunming. The flight is scheduled to take a little shy of 2 hours. Yeah, it is difficult to emphasize the extent to which they have completely changed the controls for this game since the last time I played it, and I don't know why. To be honest, these new controls probably make more sense, but maybe that's why they did it, I don't know. Make it more controller friendly. But it is still a lot. I will say that, it is a lot. But let's move around the aircraft. Oh, look at that lighting. Light Sim 20. Still the best lighting I think ever put in a video game, I'm gonna say. I should probably control my speed some. Right. So what are we travelling? 273 currently? Where can I find the true airspeed? I don't know, basically. If you know, if you're an expert in the operation of the Cessna CJ4, do let me know.
Climb and maintain flight level 250 Cessna Sierra Whiskey Tango.
I know we're travelling at half the speed of sound. That's about all I can tell you. Okay, so... Ooh, look at that, we got a glint of light on the dashboard. Beautiful. This game looks so... like, 4 years later, this game still looks amazing. Well, close to 4 years. I think this game's like 3 and a bit years old. I did at one point consider getting a, like a full flight control panel for this game. I ended up not doing that, but... And that was probably for the best, because I don't have room for that. And I think I stopped streaming Flight Sim around the same time I was considering getting one, so... I didn't do that in the end, and that's probably a good thing, but oh, you can get some lovely ones. You can get some lovely ones, I'll say that. Oh, but, yes. I think... No, I'm keen to point out that although this is the 2-year anniversary of me doing PNGtubing stuff, it is not the 2-year anniversary of me streaming. I've been streaming for 6 years in November, this November, so 5 and a bit years currently. And I started PNGtubing about a month after I started playing this game on stream. My logic was, because at first it was just nothing, it was just the game, and my logic was that what was my logic? Oh yeah, that I wanted something to look at. I wanted kind of a halfway between a face cam, which I did used to do a lot of face cam stuff, haven't done it in years at this point. I wanted halfway between like full-on VTubing and face cam stuff, and PNGtubing was perfect for that. So I kind of made a themed one, themed around Flight Sim, loosely. And oh my goodness, my plane is tilting. Fine.
Going to 120.1 Cessna Sierra Whiskey Tango. Calcutta Center Cessna Foxtrot Sierra Whiskey Tango is passing flight level
It's,
200, climbing flight level 250.
But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the original PNG tuber. Is ta-da! Yay, it's back! It's back! There it is! The original. The best. I say the best. This is the black shirt one is certainly the superior model. It's a higher resolution, it's more detailed, more lip shapes that sometimes even match the lips. That's exciting. But I'll tell you what, VidoTube, I'm pretty sure it's pronounced VidoTube, is a much nicer software than Honk. Honk is a lot. And frequently it will just choose not to work, and you don't know why, but Vido is built like an ocean liner. It is rock solid because it is so simple in its design. It's what does it do? It opens the mouth when there's a microphone input and closes it when there isn't one. Can't say safer than that. Safer than that? I was meant to say can't say fairer than that. I'll try using English, that's fine. And the starting soon screen you saw at the beginning of this stream was the original one I made for playing Flight Sim. Because it was my project. In 22, I wanted to circumnavigate the world in Flight Sim on stream. And although, as I say, like that wasn't the start of my streaming, I've been doing it for a good number of years at that point, I kind of consider that like a new beginning. Even though it was concurrent with like other stuff I was doing. I consider that like, you know, the new beginning, right? Because that was like the first time I streamed. I felt like I almost like had a plan for it. You know, I had like a whole route planned out, and sure enough I followed it to completion. Took 6 months because I was only streaming once a month. Once a week back then. Because yeah, I was only streaming on Thursdays back then, And so it took me 6 months to fly around the entire world. I imagine if I did it today, and I have considered, doing something similar again, I'd get it done much quicker because I do multiple streams a week. I've been flirting with the idea of doing a second one of these series for a long time, and you know what? I never have. I've come very close. Once I even booted up the game, only for it to completely fall apart as I started streaming it. So I never really got around to doing a second one of these. I even wrote out a full route to go, kind of more thoroughly circumnavigate the globe, and I think I touched every continent on that particular route, which I didn't on the original. But I didn't end up doing it because I think the motivation wasn't quite there. It's like I've already circumnavigated, right? So doing it again, I'd just be kind of repeating myself, and I don't know that I could make it that entertaining for that long. So I never got around to it. I've got other plans though. I've got kind of more other kind of regularly scheduled stuff that I think is I can probably make more entertaining. But I say that, it is good to be playing Flight Sim again, it is another wave of warm nostalgia. And I kind of refute nostalgia. I'm not a fan of it as a concept. I think it's, well, I don't know what I think it is, but I think it's I try to avoid just blatant nostalgia bait. I mean, I can be a sucker for it every now and again, but usually I try to remain cynical of it. But that said, it is good to be back. Lovely to be back. It was one of my great regrets of that original Flight Sim series. I didn't record much of it. Well, actually, that's not true. I recorded almost every stream. And I used them to make TikToks and Twitter posts and whatnot. But I never uploaded the full VODs. I actually did start uploading the full VODs later on. When I did kind of the expansion series, if you will. I uploaded those VODs. In fact, they are the first VODs I ever uploaded to my archive channel. And you can still watch those below, but the main bulk of the series I didn't upload. And indeed, I didn't even record the stream in which I debuted my PNG. And I regretted that a lot because that's kind of a momentous thing for me, and I didn't do it. Momentous, my god, that's a strong choice of words, isn't it? But yeah, and that's kind of where the genesis of this idea came from. It's like, well, I could redo that stream functionally, and this time make sure it's archived to the old backup channel, right? So that's what we're doing. Bhutan, Paro Airport to Kunming, and here we are again. Yeah, I think the only kind of clips of the original Flight Sim series I did are in the form of TikToks, and there's quite a few of them actually. I made a point of kind of making a few every week way back when, and they're all still on TikTok. You can see them below. I recommend watching them. I still think they're quite funny. Watched a lot of films. A lot of bottom of the barrel. What about it? Why did my plane just say altitude? It didn't do that before. Why did my plane just say altitude? Alright, so this is the last bit of the climb. We're going to level out at 30,000 feet, and then it's plain sailing over the remainder of the Himalayas, and then on into China. But yeah, I debuted my PNGtuber, I think, a month. Did I already mention this? Or did I made it like a month, maybe almost 2 months into this whole project. And haven't streamed without it since, genuinely. I don't think I've done a single stream where I didn't have a PNGtuber in the corner. And funnily enough, I've not done any streams where I had my webcam on. I'm not adverse to a face stream. I'm not shy about it. I should arguably be more shy about it. I feel like I put too much of myself online. I don't know, but yeah, no. The whole PNGtubing thing. It like you don't have to make your surroundings look good for a PNGtuber. You just plug in your microphone and you go. Which is perfect, and there's no faffing around with webcams, which routinely never work. I don't know why, just webcams never work how you want them to. And PNGs are perfect for something nice to look at. And it's lightweight too. Now I've often wondered, if I was starting again, the whole PNGtubing thing again, would I make a more elaborate model? Would I make something beyond just like a cartoon interpretation of myself? And I don't know, I felt like kind of conscious of that for a good chunk of time. Like I didn't really know anyone else that was just doing kind of what I'm doing, just like a caricature of themselves. You know, I think I'm kind of more at peace with it these days. I'm not going to say it's my unique selling point or anything like that, but yeah, I'm... What do you say? Press left stick on to toggle on the on-screen cursor and open the... I want to do that. Alright, I'll do it. Hopefully that goes away in a while. Flight Sim does love its tips. There we go. And after I was done with Flight Sim, the model stuck around, but obviously having a flight stick in the hands didn't really do for the majority of games. But right after I finished Flight Sim, I started doing art fight stuff. So conveniently, the flight stick was hidden behind a picture of a tablet, and I think it was probably like the month after that I made kind of a revision, kind of version 1.5. I considered it version 2 for the longest time, but it's a 1.5 really. Version 1.5 of the original model, which was just, you know, it didn't have the stick in the hand, and I think I adjusted the shading a little bit as well, but it was ultimately the same thing, just kind of no stick, black shirt. And the second model, the black shirt one you're looking at now, debuted. When did that debut? It was May 23, and this is version 2, right? So the whole reason I did a re-debut was because I was moving to a new bit of software and kind of a revamp of the whole aesthetic. Not a major revamp; it's functionally the exact same model. But lots of behind this, you know, it's basically addressing a lot of the regrets I had about the first model. Like I made it. I made the new one a higher resolution and did some other stuff. I don't remember what it was. Oh yeah, I think I arranged like the layers better in the software. I suppose that begs the question: what's in the future, right? Well, nothing right now. I'm quite happy with my model as it currently stands, as it currently bounces in the corner. But one day I do want to switch to having a full 3D model. Finding tutorials about that online is extremely tricky, though, I will say that. Because they're all, frankly, a bit shit. They all start with, first you have to imagine what you want to do. It's like, that's not my issue. That's not the problem I'm having. And actually, I did start work on a 3D model in the January of 23. And that went nowhere until it became the major focal point of my re-debut. The little video I made, which remains my favourite thing. I think my favourite video I've ever made. I'm still very proud of that. This thing is still very good. But as for what version 3 of this model will be, I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that the road is leading to something full 3D. And I think that will happen one day. Processing power be damned. Let's wait there. Yeah, I don't want to alarm anyone. I don't want to alarm anyone at all. I have forgotten to pick up passengers. Hopefully they don't mind. Hopefully they're enjoying their time in Bhutan. I hear it's a pretty easy country to leave. You know, not too mountainous. One of the few countries the British Empire did not colonise Bhutan because it was too mountainous and they couldn't get there. It's also one of, let me think, 2 countries in the world that have a dragon on their flag. One is Bhutan, the other is Wales. You know what, let's curtail the speed just a bit. Let's bring it down to 250 knots. You don't want it over too quickly. Where did we start from? How far have we come? There? I think it was there. Maybe it was there? Actually, it was there, wasn't it? Okay, we've not actually come that far. That's a relief. I thought, oh god, I'm speedrunning this stream. I don't want to savour it. And I think we will, so. Ah. But first I want to talk more about myself. Namely, I want to show you one of the hourly comics I did in 2022. Hopefully this won't crash anything. If it does, well, that's an issue. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? There you are. Now, when I was trying to draw this model, the very first time, I couldn't get the shape right. You know, I knew kind of the drawing of myself I did in an hourly comic that year. That was like pretty much spot on for the shape I wanted to go with, but I just couldn't quite get it right. And so then I figured, why don't I just trace that? Why don't I just trace the kind of pencil sketch? Actually, no, I think it was digital. Yeah, a digital sketch. I did. Why don't I just trace that? So sure enough, I did. Colored it. And it looked pretty much how I wanted. So let's drag that in here. Don't crash, don't crash, don't crash. Oh, thank you, God. There we go. Okay. Let's drag it down a bit as well. Must remember to delete these pictures, or they will stick around for a year. Or 5. Anyway, let's shrink ya down. Oh, what? Okay, bye. No, okay. Now there you can see. And it looks very familiar. I'd flip it around, but it will fly off the screen for reasons I don't understand. How do I transform? Flip horizontal. There we go. And there we go. That was the genesis of this PNG tuber, unbeknownst to myself, broadly speaking. But that's kind of the lineage so far. As it's Alpha 0.1, version 1. You can't really see where I'm pointing. I don't know why I'm acting like you can see where my finger's pointing. And version 2. And what will the future hold? Probably a new bit of software. Quite which one, I don't know. I don't think I'll go full VTubing. Well, no, if I go with a 3D model, that will be, by definition, be full VTubing. But what I'm saying is, I think I'll probably skip live 2D. I have the most admiration possible for people that understand live 2D. It is, every time I see anything about live 2D, people working in it, people talking about it, my mind boggles at the sheer complexity of that software. When I hear about, like, oh, this half of this eyelash is on layer 506, I think my model is about 6 layers and I find it a living nightmare to edit anything. How are you doing this? It's madness. Madness. So I would probably... And also I think it's a subscription-based software, isn't it? So yeah, I'll probably skip Live 2D. I've often thought about going to... oh, what's it called? PNGtuber Plus? Is that what it's called? I don't remember off the top of my head. But the main thing stopping me from doing that is that... Honk has various eye tracking, just generally mouse tracking, I should say, features that I don't think really any other PNGtubing software has. And because of that, I'm fairly hesitant to switch away from it, because I think a big part of... Let's get rid of that for a moment. I think a big part of my aesthetic is that, like, the way the eyes and the pen moves when I do my art streams. I'm very hesitant to alter that. Now the mouth flaps, I think I could probably do if I just kind of combined the mouth into various, into like a GIF of, like a compilation GIF of the various shapes. I think that'd be fine for lip sync. I don't think people would particularly mind that. The lip syncing in Honk is never quite as good as I was hoping anyway. But yeah, it's the eye tracking and mouse tracking in Honk that is, I think, the main reason I stick with it. Although I suppose even if I like moved away from Honk, I could technically still have it running just for the hand. It's possible, right? Kind of a Frankenstein 2 bits of software together to enable drawing. I wonder if there's a simpler way of doing that. But the thing is, as time progresses, I think there's only going to be more kind of PNGtubing suites and solutions. I don't picture the whole VTubing thing being a fad that ends anytime soon. Of course, now said that aloud, it'll last a week maybe, and that'll be my fault, for which I apologise entirely. But did I? Actually, no, I don't think I did download PNGtubing Plus, but I do have it like constantly in my hotbar. It's like there taunting me. It's like, oh, I could get you, I could have you, because the stuff you can do with that software is pretty amazing, right? It all very fluid. It is probably as elaborate a PNGtubing suite as you can get without it being full VTubing. Although, to be honest, I've always thought that difference is a bit arbitrary anyway, right? I actually ask someone, what's the difference? I don't think, they'd have much of an answer. I think it's more just like a feeling, isn't it? You know when it is and you know when it isn't, kind of. Actually, I'll tell you something I have learned. In the time since I stopped streaming Flight Sim, I think I didn't know this by the time I stopped. I learned what this doohickey is. I learned what this doohickey is. It's the angle of attack dial. Basically, you want the circle to be green because that means you're on target. Actually, having said that out loud now, I'm pretty sure I actually did know that by the time I was doing like the second lot of Flight Sim stuff. And it never feels like it's going to be correct. It's like it only becomes correct in the last few moments. What that river's called? It's wide enough, it must be a pretty noteworthy one, but I can safely say I don't know. Oh, actually, having said that, there's a much bigger river. What's that river called? No idea, but it kind of looks like it forms something of a border between the Himalayas and the not Himalayas. The not Himalayas, also known as China. Except for those bits of China that are in the Himalayas, but never mind. I think Mount Everest is like pretty much split down the middle between Nepal and China. They basically share it. They share custody. China gets it every other weekend. That's another one. There we go. I want to see how far along we are. What I've been watching recently on the old Netflix there, I have been watching the ill-advised Avatar: The Last Airbender show. It's a lot. I've watched 3 episodes so far, and I think it. Oh, hello. I'll do it later. I'm talking about Avatar right now. If I was in a good mood, I would say it is broadly competent. Broadly. I think my feelings on that matter kind of changed when it came to episode 3, when it started making some absolutely batshit decisions. Not that it already hadn't done that, but in episode 3 my patience towards it started very much running out when it feels like they don't have any patience. They have to get round to all the iconic characters and all the iconic moments, you know, well in advance, but being natural for them to show up in the plot. Like, I'm thinking about the extent to which I should spoil it. Because it is Avatar. If you've seen The Last Airbender, you know exactly what happens in the show. So I will say this. So spoiler alert if you want to know absolutely nothing, if you somehow already don't know anything. But Azula shows up in episode 3. Famously in the original show, she showed up at the beginning of the second season and had like a 2-second cameo in season 1. But in this show, she has a speaking show in episode 3. Speaking role in episode 3. But she doesn't have anything to do. She's just kind of there. They felt the need to establish Azula like way before it becomes relevant for her to show up, and I don't get why they did that. Now that'd be bad enough. But then there is a shot in episode 3 where, and I can never remember her two like lackeys' names. You know the one, the goth one and the peppy one. In the original show, and I don't want to like just constantly compare it to the original show, but at the same time, what are you meant to do? You know, what else do you have to compare it to? And in the original show, they get introductions. We get to see where their characters come from, who they are, right? In this show, they show up in a flat medium shot, standing like lemons, and they say next to nothing. Well, they say stuff, but it's stuff that doesn't reveal anything about their personalities at all. It almost made me laugh out loud, just how little the show seems to care about its own characters. It's bizarre. Also, Aang keeps flying, which is very much a thing he cannot do in the show. In this show, he's bloody Superman. He's flying around constantly, and you know something really weird? Something that's really rubbing me the wrong way? Aang keeps explaining waterbending to Katara. Like, long before he himself learns waterbending, he is explaining to her how to do it. Basically, Aang mansplains his way through this show, which is, again, odd. And I said I was not sure how much I should spoil this. Turns out my decision was I should spoil it completely. Anyway, I feel like it's a show which caters exclusively to Avatar fans, right? No one is coming to the franchise through this show, you know? I feel like my spoilers probably won't do the most damage, right? But, something else I know, I've actually been writing, this is very sad of me, but this is where I am as a person. I've been writing notes about this show as I've been watching it. And I posted this to Twitter. When Azula's two lackeys showed up, I wrote in block capitals and underlined it, "Wait, they're just here now. What?" Imagine I yelled that. It's also a very... its budget constantly shows, I think. Like, if you want to do a live-action Avatar, you need to pour money into that thing, because it is a grand epic, right? But the whole show is, like, filmed on, like, a tiny soundstage. It feels like you can constantly see the edge
Yangon Center, Cessna Foxtrot,
of where they
Sierra
can
Whiskey
walk.
Tango Flight Level Tree
The only time they leave that is when they go to like the same Canadian forest they film every Canadian production.
No radar contact. Continue.
I do wonder if they're using that wraparound thing they use for the Mandalorian. Has that kind of saturated its way into kind of medium budget productions? I don't know. I think it probably has, because it doesn't look green screeny. But it does feel fairly artificial regardless. And that's an issue. But I will say this, and I don't know if I'm kind of going against the grain on this opinion. I think the guys they've got playing I'm blanking on those as characters' names now. Zuko and Iroh. They're spot on. I think they've absolutely nailed it there. They look the part, they sound the part. They're great. They do a really good job. And also the guy playing Zhao, he's really good as well. I've not seen the original show in a while, so I'm a little fuzzy on what Zhao was like as a character, but in this version, he's played like very subdued. He's almost like slithering, almost. It's like he's just got a faint sense of mistrust, and I think that's balanced really well. I like that portrayal of that character a lot. Oh, and there's something else in episode 3. Danny Pudi, I think that's how you say it. Pudi? I don't know. Who was Abed in Community, is in one episode. He's playing the role Rene Auberjonois played in the original show. It would be nice if they had gotten Rene Auberjonois back, but that would be difficult considering he's dead. And you know what was sweet? They got the Cabbage guy back, and it's actually the guy that did the voice. And they got him in live action to do the line, which was lovely, I thought. But yeah, very mixed bag of a show. Very mixed bag. To be honest, I think my opinion of it will only kind of descend as I watch more. I don't think they've cast Toph, but it wouldn't surprise me if he just like randomly showed up without any fanfare. Excuse me, or introduction. Actually going back to the whole thing feeling like it's filmed on a soundstage, they also decided to just spoil the reveal of Fire Lord Ozai. Is that the character's name? What's the guy that I like I said, I've not seen the original show in so long. Although this show has the same character name, so I don't know why I'm struggling to remember it so much, but yeah, the Fire Lord shows up. He's played by Daniel Tae Kim, and he's great, I must say. He looks the part. Great voice. He's perfectly cast in that role. And they basically perfectly recreate the throne room from the original show, but here's the thing. The Fire Lord never sits in the throne, which I find really weird, because like it's clear they've got like a tiny ass soundstage to work with, and they haven't actually built the throne, so he's always just standing like 30 feet in front of the throne. It's always just there in the background, and he never sits in the damn throne, and that bothers me so much. Hopefully at some point he'll sit in the damn thing, although that would require building a chair, and I suspect they've stretched the budget as far as it will go. Now ideally they wouldn't have showed his face in the slightest until like much later on, because that's what makes him powerful in the original show, isn't it? You just see him from like the back, or you see him in shadow, or you just see like him making flames rise, and he's an intimidating presence, and you only get to see his face, I think. Is it like the last episode of season 2, start of season 3? I don't quite remember, but it's you don't see him for a good long while. And I think he's in episode 1 of this new show, maybe episode 2. They could not hold on to that one, even though they really should have done. But as I say, Daniel Day Kim. We keep wanting to call Daniel Day-Lewis, but he's a different Daniel Day-based actor. But Daniel Day Kim is really good in that role. Very angular face. Oh, actually, I'll say this as well. This is a real, this is really petty of me. It opens with kind of a pointless flashback that really doesn't serve any narrative purpose. And if it was going to serve a narrative purpose, they put it in like completely the wrong place. And the actor playing like the old Fire Lord, like the Fire Lord from 100 years ago, he has the worst fake beard I have ever seen in anything. It's like, it really just looks like broom bristles that they've glued to his face. It's a very bad prosthetic, I'm sorry to say. Also in the show, a lot of people getting burned to death and screaming. I don't remember that in the original show. I'm not going to say it's out of place. I mean, the villains are people that shoot fire out of their hands, but it feels like sometimes they're kind of going for like, oh, this is Avatar, but it's edgy, which feels maybe a little misguided, because Avatar could be edgy when it wanted to be. Especially like season 2 onwards, you got some very kind of bleak stuff, and then on into Legend of Korra, like you've got explorations of like anarchy and fascism, which is not to excuse Legend of Korra's failings, but you know, that was where they felt comfortable taking the show, and that was cool. But yeah, this one, it feels like this is Avatar, but people get burned to death constantly. As I say, a mixed bag of a show. How far are we through this flight? About halfway. About halfway, if I had to reckon. Is there anything else I want to say about Avatar? Oh, yeah, the costumes. I will say the costumes are pretty much spot on to the original show. Maybe to a fault, honestly. Because there's quite a few occasions when it looks like cosplay. Like world-class cosplay. But it has a distinct, like, cosplay vibe. And, like, the costumes are like... I don't quite know what the costumes are too much. Maybe they're like a bit too clean, I don't know. Overall though, you know what? Better than the 2010 film. Which is not that difficult. But nonetheless, it's past that low bar, so I guess shouts out to the new Avatar show. It could be worse. Ultimately though, just watch the original show. Like, that's the biggest problem with the live action shows. Like, why does this exist? What are we doing? Why are we doing it? So overall, I give it 10 out of 10. It's basically perfect. Oh, but it is a shame that clearly it needed, like, much more budget than it has to realise that world. And it just doesn't quite have it. The whole thing feels so small and confined. They also, in episode 3, they merge like 3 separate episodes. It's like the one with the kid in the wheelchair that flies around. There's that episode. The one with Jet, and there's a third one. Oh yeah, when they go to Amashu and meet the king. It's that one as well. And they kind of squish all 3 of those episodes together, which I guess, like, if you want to hit every beat from season 1 in 8 episodes. I mean, the movie's biggest problem was it tried to hit every beat from season 1 in an hour, in like 2 hours, hour and a half, and it didn't. It really didn't. Yeah, even just kind of... Yeah, and every episode is like an hour long, which I don't know about that either. I guess, like, what other length is it going to be, but yeah, when you're trying to merge like 3 episodes into one, like, 50-minute episode, it feels like the episode doesn't really have any focus, you know? There's no main focus. Everything is resolved to... I don't know, too quickly. And that causes issues, narratively. Set the accelerator just a touch, there we go. There's another river, my god. Can we be done with rivers, my god? Can we just, like, drain them out and, like, build, I don't know, like a shopping centre or something? Like, get a branch of Games Workshop in there or something? Do something useful with them for a change? I don't know. Well, that's a low-res texture. I have heard about Flight Sim. Apparently, like, it got lauded for, like, its, like, incredible accuracy, because it's using all these, like, open source sources. I have heard that apparently China gets a bit iffy. China isn't so accurate for some reason. I don't know if they've updated it since I heard that. But yeah, I have heard that China isn't very correct. I don't know if that's true or not, but it is what I have heard. Clip through it just there. Hey, I did find a way to, like, completely clip through it once. I think one of the alternate, like, camera angles you can accomplish. Let's go with it. Yeah, I think you can just, like, clip outside of the aircraft. But oh, why would I want to ruin the immersion? Game is so lovely for it. Still world-class clouds, I think. I think didn't Gran Turismo 5, not 5, is it 7 maybe? 7 the most recent one. I think 7, yeah, I'm pretty sure 7 is the most recent one. I think that did like procedurally generated clouds and stuff like that. Or I don't know if it's procedural generation or something entirely different, but yeah, I think the latest Gran Turismo did clouds like this, although it seems to me to make much less impact in that game because it's going around a small circuit. Whereas this is a game where the clouds will actually make a real difference. But nonetheless, it's I like to see kind of the technology of this, or similar technology to this game, kind of trickling down. Because this game is really groundbreaking in some of the stuff it's doing. I don't normally like gush over a game's technology. Whenever developers do that, my first thought is always, okay, but is the game good? But this is kind of a game where the technology and the gameplay are basically inseparable and both benefit, I feel. Like, it really is just an irresistible pitch for a game, isn't it? Like, you can go anywhere in the world. It's got to be the biggest open world ever made, right? Not including procedural generation stuff like Minecraft, like it's the entire world. You can just go anywhere in it. That's nuts. That's like the kind of game you would imagine when you were young, right? When you're on the playground and going, oh, what if they made an open world game where you can go anywhere in the world? Well, guess what? They made that. It's this one. You can go anywhere in the world. And it's nuts. And actually, they've added in a new world, haven't they? That you can play on Arrakis now. Yeah, because they added in that Dune expansion. I played that. It's good. I like it. I like the Ornithopter. It doesn't bear any resemblance to any realistic flying models, but I'm much more for like the total works of fiction in this game than I feel like I should be. There's like, add more pelicans, add more ornithopters, you know. Scour your IPs for flying things and license more of them. I want them. No, but that Dune expansion is very good because this was very unexpected. The soundtrack is the theme from the 1984 film, scored in the style of the 21 film, which is great. Which that's so good because there's like no nods to the 80s film in the new one, new ones at all, except for I guess now the flight simulator expansion, Dune themed expansion pack. It has the 1984 theme in it, which is genuinely wonderful because the score from that film, I get what Hans Zimmer was going for with the new one. I do. But and it's an effective ambient score, but at the end of the day I think the old score is just better. I think it's more melodic and memorable and epic in its scope. It's just a better score. And this expansion pays homage to that. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Love it. No, but my aim was to get all the original Frank Herbert Dune books read before Dune Part 2 comes out. I don't think I'm going to accomplish that. I think I'll be able to start the last one by the time the new film comes out. Because I'll be real, first one, classic giants of science fiction. The sequels are a mixed bag. Some of them are pretty good. The fourth one is good. The fourth one is good. The third one is ridiculous. The fifth one is I'm very close to the end of the fifth one, and I think the fifth one is the worst one so far. If I'm honest, it's very dull. Nothing really happens, and the things that do happen I don't understand. So yeah, the fifth one ain't it, and there's one after this. If I'm honest, I don't have the most faith in it, but you know what? I've started this quest, and I must complete it, or I will literally die. And that would be broadly disagreeable, wouldn't it? I did have a stream planned, and I never really did this. I wanted to like do a PowerPoint presentation party kind of thing. A summary of the entire Dune franchise. Just like summarize every book as kind of ludicrously as possible. And I didn't really do it because one, I'm a slow reader. Two, that would require summarizing Dune 5, and I don't know that I can really do that. There you are. I'll get in touch with Chengdu Center, don't even worry about it, buddy. Yo, Chengdu! Ah.
0.9er Cessna, Sierra Whiskey Tango. Goodbye.
Oh, see ya.
Chengdu Center, Cessna Foxtrot, Sierra Whiskey Tango Flight Level 300.
Cessna Foxtrot Sierra Whiskey Tango Chengdu Center radar contact. Continue to Nimitz.
Suddenly got very mountainous again. When did that happen? That snuck up. Can we get the destination and the plane in the same kind of frame? Oh, we can, just. I think we're probably approaching the last half hour of this flight, probably. Although I think that was something of a catchphrase, thinking about it, when I was originally playing Flight Sim, and it never was just another half hour. There was always the faffing. Oh, the faffing, there was faffing. There's something fun about Flight Sim. You can be a little babu on the seat. You can be a baby flying the plane, if that's what floats your boat. We will not be babu, however. We will be big and tall in equal measure. Where's the sun these days? Oh, there it is. Feeling like it should have risen more. Rise more, you idiot. Dumbass son. How you doing? Well, I wonder if we go into time of day. If we set it to real time, is it still going to be pitch black? Yes. Oh my god. It's 6:21, so the sun's kind of coming up. Kinda. We leave it on real time for a bit. Ah, no, actually, I feel like we should start so we meant to go on. Oh, look at the shadows kind of. Oi! Oh, a seizure warning. Where was that? Mm, 9:13, there we go. Was that what the time was? Probably not. That's fine. What did I say? 28 volt. Is that all? Huh. Good number of volts. I don't know what this thing is that it plugs into. So we're coming up pretty soon on the last leg of the flight in 22.5 nautical miles. That is going down real quick. Oh wow, I went an entire mile just there. Mind you, I am going at about 3/4 the speed of sound, so you know what, yeah, no, that checks out actually. Now I'm thinking about it. I do want to find out where like the true airspeed is on this craft. It irks me that I can't find it. It's the TAS. If anyone sees something that says TAS, scream at me. Nine. Oh, very exciting. 8. I wonder what the next number will be. I think it'll be 7. Ah, see, it's like I predicted, it's a 7. Hopefully, you know what, it'll start asking me to descend pretty soon. I say that, it usually only starts asking me to descend about 30 seconds from where we're meant to land, which is always overwhelmingly unsettling, but it is what it is. But that should come before too long, I think. I do sometimes have a habit of like requesting a lower altitude, because it's like, why aren't you asking me to go down? There we go, final. Force adjustment. Beautiful. Beautiful. Moreover, some description. Lake, that's nice. Shouts out lakes. Mods, shout out lakes. Question is, how long until our final destination? It's 100 and... oh, let me see. 166. Till we get to our final destination. I presume that's the number of minutes, in which case 20 minutes until. We get to where we're going. What's that? What's that? What was that? It's just a hill. Just a hill? That looks like something out of a fantasy show, like the great city would be built on top of this hill. And then like, oh, there's the peasantry below, and it's a commentary on things or something. What was it? 150 nautical miles. Make that 49. Oh, I think we're getting through these nautical miles pretty swiftly. And they still haven't started asking me to descend, which again, unsettling. I'd like a descent order sometime soon, if that's okay with you lads. No, I technically don't have a co-pilot. But you quite need the toilet. So you know what, I think I'm gonna violate various air traffic safety things. Just now, I'm gonna go to the toilet. Is it this one? Oh, the expressions are different. I had like a million expressions on the original model and like 3 of them I ever used. But I'm gonna throw that up. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Excuse me. Alright. And back. There we go. Yes. You know, I think I'm gonna get onto air traffic control. Let's decrease by 10,000 feet.
New center, Cessna, Sierra Whiskey Tango. Request flight level 200.
Cessna Sierra Whiskey Tango, you are 9 miles west. Descend and maintain flight level 250. Expect vectors visual runway 22 left approach.
Mr. Cook, why is my plane
Cessna Sierra Whiskey Tango,
low fuel? Okay.
17,000
Oh, now they decide to start giving me alterations.
descend and maintain 9,400 feet.
Oh, Jesus, alright.
Descend and maintain 9,400 feet. Expect vectors visual runway 22 left approach. Cessna Sierra Whiskey Tango.
9... thousand 400, there we go. E down, and we'll adjust speed accordingly. There we go. Happy anniversary to you too, Starbreak. I know it's not any kind of anniversary for you, but regardless, happy anniversary to you. Oh, but hello. Good of you to drop in. Hope you're doing well today. Two years of premiere, well, certainly 2 years of content. The premiere-ness of it is very much up to the viewer. Let us not forget the number of tits I've accidentally shown during films when I was playing Flight Sim. Okay, it was only like twice, but still, it's more than I think Twitch would prefer. Uh, let's speed up this descent a bit. Oh. Yeah, here's a tip. If you ever decide what to watch a film on Twitch, if there's ever a scene featuring a waterfall, get it off the screen. Get it off the screen until you are confident that the waterfall has gone. Because where there is a waterfall, there are tits. This is an inevitability. Also watched a movie where a ghost sucked a fetus out of a pregnant woman, but I did think to censor that one. I knew that scene was coming, so I did think to censor that one, but I do, don't I? I do. I did think that was the aesthetic. Because I knew I wanted to have this old model. The original, the OG model on the stream to commemorate, but yeah, that is definitely how it looks, isn't it? I did think about, like, giving the new model, like, a set of, like, steering columns, and then I thought, yeah, that's too much effort, you know what, I'll just get the old model back out, I'll dust it off. And God, VideoTube is a nice piece of software, so much nicer than Honk. Sorry, Honk, but oh, the other software is nicer. There we go, up there. I'm sure that the way I'm flying this plane is grounds for instantly being kicked out of flight school, but that's fine. I don't need their rules. I'm above them. You know, I'm going to be a right daredevil. Oh, 2,000. Is 2,000 feet a minute? Basically recreating the end of Goldfinger at this point. Just need a revolver. Let's see, we're going to approach final destination in 11 minutes. Losing, let me think. Oh, losing 2,000 feet a minute currently, so it's going to take us 5 minutes as it currently stands to get down to, and that's very rough. There's ways to do these calculations. I knew them at one point, but that was before I discovered the co-pilot feature, and then I instantly forgot all those sums. But I did know it at one point. I knew the distance you have to measure to divide it by the other thing and the stuff and the things. But I can no longer remember that. I did consider doing this stream actually in the new Ornithopter from Dune. But alas I did not, because I think the stream would have been like 20 minutes. Then go to sleep. Have yourself a ball. Thank you very much for dropping by. It was a pleasure as always. It was alright, I was happy to have you along. can see many more years of this funny little corner guy. So do I. Hopefully one day he will be in full 3 dimensions, and my computer will not melt as a result, although it probably will that. It's almost certainly too early to start summarising this flight, but in spite of them completely changing the controls, I think this has gone quite well. Quite well. Now I've said that aloud, of course we will crash and burn and it will be a terribly embarrassing ending, but yeah, we're definitely going to make it to the desired altitude. Wonder quite when it will be appropriate to turn off autopilot.
55 Cessna, Sierra Whiskey Tango. Goodbye.
Oh, I see.
Kunming approach Cessna Foxtrot Sierra Whiskey Tango is at 15,000 feet, descending 9,400 feet.
Cessna Foxtrot Sierra Whiskey Tango Kunming approach QNH 30.
It's an authentic Chinese accent, actually.
Continue.
They really did the homework. That's an authentic kind of Kunming accent. Definitely not an AI voice. That sounds like it's from Ohio. Or Minnesota. That's Chinese, that is. Getting to the point when we can make out trees. We're getting low now. Hopefully not too low. I don't want to smash the plane into the side of a mountain. I don't think we will. I'm pretty sure that will not be an issue. We'll reset the altimeter, however. That's got to be at least 3,000 feet, right? We're not going to hit anything. Yeah, we're going to maybe be fine. Hopefully we'll be fine. If not, well...
Altitude.
Altitude to you too. Oh, we are very low now, aren't we? Not descending further than... Well, I am descending further than this, but only like 400 feet. Should be fine, maybe. Hey, yeah, buddy. This feels like really low. Is it though? Is that just like the perspective? Is it actually like a entirely sensible height? I'm almost certainly going too fast for this to be legal, but hopefully the gates show up. If they don't, I'm fucked. Okay.
Descend and maintain 8,900 feet, Cessna Sierra Whiskey Tango.
Altitude.
Just done half. Oh, I never turned half bank mode on. That explains a lot. That explains a lot. I am very unsettled that Flight Sim might not have actually aimed in the airport, but
Maintain present heading and altitude, Cessna Sierra Whiskey Tango. Cessna Sierra Whiskey Tango has the runway in sight.
glad someone does, I don't.
Turn right, heading 165.
That's a bridge that's kind of going through a hill. That's not what we want, really.
Kunming Tower, Cessna Foxtrot Sierra Whiskey Tango, 10 miles north, inbound visual runway, 22 left approach.
Cessna Foxtrot Sierra Whiskey Tango Kunming Tower. QNH tree 0.1812 a tree. Cleared visual runway 22 left approach.
Cleared visual runway, 22 left approach, Cessna Sierra Whiskey Tango.
And turn. Turn? Is that there? Remember it being a fairly small city, although I'm not seeing an airstrip. Ah! Having said that aloud. Alright, let's...
Autopilot.
Off, okay.
Cessna Sierra Whiskey Tango, wind 212 a tree. Cleared to land runway 22 left.
Cleared to land runway, 22 left, Cessna Sierra Whiskey Tango.
Do have to... I'm terribly sorry, I want to make one last bit of on-air admin. I want to see exactly what the button is to... I already did the landing gear. This one. So I'll do it in game. Who cares? Who cares, Alistair? Oh, that's the wrong button. That's the wrong button. Cancel. Resume. There we go. Okay. Oh, one more bit of... This is necessary. I almost forgot it, but I haven't forgotten it. I'm very smart. I do have to kind of do this manually or it'll change both expressions. There we go. Just like old times. Alright. Where were we? Yeah, my landing gear are doing what they should do. Alright. Oh, now they're blue. Just in time. Okay. Gently does it. Gently enough. Oh, bit of a skid there, that's fine.
Autopilot. Autopilot.
Hold it. Oh, they've even changed that button. Why have you done that? Oh, okay. Bit crazy there. That's fine. Almost smashed my wing on the airstrip, but I didn't, which is agreeable. Okay, it's down to alter the flaps with the controller. Got it.
Cessna Sierra Whiskey Tango exit runway when able.
Here we go. Another happy landing. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Oh right. Where's the nearest exit? There? Is it there? You know, I'm just gonna follow the arrows. I'm just gonna follow the arrows.
Cessna Sierra Whiskey Tango exit runway when able.
Yeah.
Cessna Sierra Whiskey Tango contact ground on 121.905.
121.905 Cessna Sierra Whiskey Tango.
I'm gonna break some laws here, but that's fine. They're famously lenient about that kind of stuff in China. Let's do some excessive taxi speed for old time's sake. Right, I suppose I should start wrapping up, really, shouldn't I? So, on this, the 2-year and 1-day anniversary of me doing this whole little person in the corner thing, I thank you for tuning in. It does mean a lot to me. It's one of my premier hobbies. And it does fill me with a bit of delight every time I do it, genuinely. That sounds like I'm just saying that. almost as a marketing thing. I'm not. It genuinely, it does. Be very happy to be able to do all this kind of thing in the fashion that I do it. But if you want to follow me, you can do so at all the links below. I just updated my webcomic today, and you can. Oh, that's also linked below. I encourage you to read it. It's very good. It's genuinely the best work of fiction ever written, and I am including Ulysses in that. This map can get out of here now, can't it? There we go. Oh, don't want to. There we go. Turning a bit wide there, but that's fine. That's how it's meant to go. Yes. Do follow me here on Twitch. Subscribe on Twitch. I couldn't say that the last time I played Flight Sim. After we've parked up, I'm going to check if there is anyone we can raid. Hopefully there is. Usually people streaming on a Sunday. Okay, there's someone in my parking spot. That's undesirable. Ah, screw it. Oh,
Autopilot.
which is the... Okay, they've moved. Yeah, they moved the brake button. It's X now. I don't know why. Okay. Excellent. Let's turn the plane off while we're here. Vanish. What do we want to do? See if I can remember this. Alright, that's all off. Plane is quite deactivated, so let's look at the outside. Oh no, engines are still making noise. Stop making noise, engines. Okay, now the plane has stopped. There we go. Alright, nicely shut down. Oh, well, that'll do nicely. So thank you for 2 years. Now, we'll check if there is anyone. Great, where's Firefox gone? There it is. Found it. Twitch. Not really. Yeah, dang it. That's fine. That's fine, we can just end there. Usually people streaming on Sundays. Why aren't they? Get them on the line right now. I'm very angry at them. Oh, that's fine. But for the last 2 years, I thank you, and here's to the next 2 and beyond. Thank you for watching. Join me again next time, which will be tomorrow for art, starting on the 3rd page of this current story I'm doing. I'm going to post a schedule right after I finish streaming, actually. And until next time, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye.